Question 16. To live a healthy, active life, most adults need approximately 2,000 calories of food each day. And then two terms I wanted to introduce here, although we'll see them again, is malnourished, which means you don't have the right calories. You have enough food, but maybe you're only eating rice, so you're not getting a good variety of calories. And undernourished is not enough calories. So you're just not physically getting enough calories to eat. The three most commonly produced grains are corn, wheat, and rice. Four innovations that characterize the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution is what kept us from essentially starving to death because we were running out of the ways to produce food fast enough in order to feed our growing population. So things like artificial selection and GMOs, genetically modified organisms, the ability to irrigate, all those different forms of irrigation, flood, furrow, drip, spray irrigation, synthetic pesticides and herbicides, things that can kill pests or kill weeds, and then synthetic fertilizers, so fertilizers that would put nitrogen and phosphorus into the soil to allow it to have more nutrients. 19 is matching the following, some different diseases with some different deficiencies. So iron deficiency is referred to as anemia, and that answer is A. Vitamin A deficiency can result in blindness, and that's E. Vitamin D deficiency is referred to as rickets, and that's the answer D. Iodine deficiency is referred to as goiter. That's why we have iodized salts. We found that we could solve that problem just by supplementing a small amount of iodine in something as easy as table salt. And that's why sea salt will say non-iodized. And then vitamin C deficiency is called scurvy, which is letter C. Use the axes below to draw and label an illustration of the pesticide treadmill to make sure to label the predator, pest, and application of the pesticides. So what we have here is the pests. We have our pest population is increasing. The pest becomes a problem. We're going to apply that pesticide. Boom, we're going to have a lowering of that number of pesticide. The pest starts to become resistant, so it starts to climb up again. So we switch to a new pesticide. That works. Starts to become resistant to that. We switch to new pesticide. That works. Starts to become resistant, and eventually we're on this treadmill where we can't find enough different pesticides. So it says because organisms can become resistant to pesticides, farmers are caught in a treadmill of having to use stronger and stronger chemicals. Over time, pests become resistant to pesticides and therefore are termed super pests. This has been shown to happen with GMO crops engineered for use with a specific herbicide. 21, explain how the biomagnification of DDT led to the near demise of the bald eagle population in the US. So DDT alters the calcium metabolism in female birds, which causes thinning shells, which are prone to cracking during incubation. Basically, as the birds sat on their eggs, they would crack the shells. How does this deal with biomagnification? Small prey animals to the bald eagles ate plants sprayed with DDT, so small mice, rodents, things ate the DDT. This biomagnification up the food chain, with bald eagles having higher levels in their fatty tissues. It didn't leave their fatty tissues and just magnified. 3 things you could do to conserve water. There's 4 here. Eat lower on the food chains. They have less water-intensive foods. Use gray water to flush your toilet or to use in your landscaping. Remember, gray water is water that has been used once but is not unsanitary, so not toilet water, but using like sink water from washing your hands or laundry water. Low flow appliances, or only do full loads of wash. These are all different things that conserve water. Be careful when you're reading AP questions because we tend to always, sometimes it says conserve energy, sometimes it says conserve water, sometimes it says conserve resources. Make sure you're conserving the proper thing. Although you might be giving a good answer about turning off lights, that's not going to help you conserve water. Perform the following calculations. A family of 5 replaces a 6-gallon per minute shower head with a new 2-gallon per minute low flow shower head. If every member of the family takes one 10-minute shower per day, the family will save 73,000 gallons of water in 1 year without even shortening their shower. So that's pretty impressive. So let's go ahead and look at the math. 6 minus 2 gallons tells us that we have 4 gallons per minute saved. There's 4 gallons per minute, but each person's taking a 10-minute shower. There's 5 people in the family times the 200 gallons. and that times 365 days gives us this 73,000 gallons of water in 1 year. A family has a rectangular swimming pool that measures 15 feet by 20 feet. If water evaporates from the pool at a rate of 50 gallons per square foot per year, and a pool cover will reduce evaporation by 90%, the family can save 13,500 gallons of water per year by using a pool cover. So 15 feet by 20 feet gives us 300 feet square. 300 feet squared times the 50 gallons per feet is 15,000 gallons per year lost. And it can save it by 90%. So we're going to multiply it by 0.9. So 13,500 gallons saved. Defining the following, a whole bunch of different words and terms here. So pH is a measure of the acidity or basicity of a solution. Remember, 0 to 6 on the pH scale is an acid, 7 is neutral, and 8 to 14 is basic. Turbidity is the measure of water clarity. Water hardness is the measure of the amount of calcium and magnesium dissolved in the water, often in the form of magnesium and calcium carbonate. Biological oxygen demand, or BOD, is the amount of dissolved oxygen needed by aerobic biological organisms in a body of water, so things that need oxygen. Organic waste is biodegradable waste that can be broken down within a reasonable amount of time. Cholera is a bacterial disease causing diarrhea and dehydration, usually spread by fecal matter, and it's common in developing countries. Schistosomiasis is a chronic disease endemic to Africa and South America. It's caused by the blood fluke and released by snails. And Giardia is an intestinal infection caused by a protozoa.